Hey guys, we're going to talk about unit rates here. And unit rate is a special proportional relationship where we're talking about how much of something we have for every one unit. And again, those n's, those numbers may change, and the unit rate may change, but it's always going to be 1 as our denominator. So it's going to be n of a number for every 1x. And what that could mean, it could mean a number of things, right? So it may mean for we run 5 miles in every 1 hour, right? It may mean that we pay $10 for every one pizza that we buy. It may mean that we have 15 questions on every one test, right? The key here is that my denominator always has to be 1. And if you do not know what the unit rate is, if this denominator is not a 1, there's 2 ways to solve it, okay? It's either dividing the numerator by the denominator or dividing them down to get to 1. And I will show you what I mean by that, okay? Say I have somebody who takes their allowance. They have $10 in an allowance, and they buy 5 comic books. Well, then I want to know, what is the unit rate per comic book? Okay, so what I need to do is I need to get this denominator to 1, which means I'm going to divide that by 5. And if I do this to the bottom, I also have to do this to the top, which is going to end up, I got a little messy here, but it's going to end up looking 10 divided by 5 is going to be 2 over 1. So the unit rate for each comic book is 2. Because remember, all whole numbers, whether it's 6, 72, 109, they all have that 1 as the denominator, right? We don't typically list that, but what we're doing is when we're doing unit rates, we are showing that proportion. So for every $2, I get 1 comic book. That's in this case. Now it can definitely change depending on what it is you're buying or passing out or whatever it is. Say I've got 36 cookies, right? I've got 36 cookies, and I have 12 students. How many cookies is each student going to get? What is the unit rate of cookies to students? I apologize. My down here it's getting messy. I don't know where it seemed to have a dead spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to either divide 36 by 12, or I'm going to divide them each by 12, right? Because I need to get that to 1. Divide that by 12, that's going to be 3. So the unit rate is 3 to 1, or 3 cookies to 1 student. Okay. And like I said, the unit rate, how we label it changes, but how we solve it doesn't. It's always going to be the same. If I have that same, I'm going back to my beginning here. If I have someone who runs 5 miles in 1 hour, well, the unit rate, if my unit rate is an hour, then it's 5 to 1. But what if I have that same 5 miles, but I want to now know in minutes? Well, in 1 minute, I have 1 hour, I have 60 minutes. So what I need to do now is I need to divide them each by 60, right? Because I'm going to divide that by 60 to get to 1, and I'll divide that by 60. So looking at this way, 60 on my outside, 5.0, and I'm going to go ahead and put my second 0 there. And I'm going to put this because we like this way, okay? And so then I would just solve this out to figure out what it's going to end up being, and it's going to end up being an n over 1, okay? So take a few minutes and see if you can solve that and post the answer in the classroom. All right, guys, thank you very much.